Did you know that some of the wealthiest criminals in history have made more money than Fortune 500 CEOs? While most people think of billionaires as tech moguls or oil tycoons, some of the richest individuals in history built their empires through illegal activities, raking in fortunes that rival even Wall Street's biggest players. In this video, we'll uncover the richest gangster of all time, revealing how he built his empire, the shocking ways he laundered his money, and the jaw-dropping amounts he made. From drug cartels to bootlegging operations, these criminal masterminds controlled entire industries, influenced governments, and amassed fortunes that left even legitimate business tycoons envious. Stay until the end, because it will shock you. Let's dive into the dark, dangerous, and extremely profitable world of the richest gangster of all time. The making of a criminal empire. Every billionaire, legitimate or not, starts somewhere, and the richest gangster of all time was no exception. Born into poverty, he learned early on that playing by the rules wouldn't get him far. While some criminals start with small-time hustles, this mastermind had grand ambitions. Instead of sticking to local schemes, he expanded rapidly, seizing control of entire industries. Whether it was bootlegging alcohol during Prohibition, running one of the most powerful drug cartels, or controlling high-stakes gambling rings, his empire grew fast. His secret? Ruthless business tactics, political bribery, and an army of enforcers who made sure no one stood in his way. As his wealth grew, so did his reputation. Law enforcement tried to stop him, but he was always one step ahead, using his vast network of lawyers, corrupt officials, and offshore accounts to stay untouchable. Money laundering. Making money is one thing, but keeping it and spending it without raising suspicion is another. Our gangster wasn't just rich, he was a financial genius when it came to hiding his wealth. He pioneered some of the most complex money laundering techniques ever seen, turning his illicit earnings into seemingly legitimate wealth. From buying luxury casinos and nightclubs to investing in multinational businesses, his financial web stretched across the globe. He funneled billions through shell companies, fake invoices, and even charity organizations. At one point, his earnings were so massive that he had to hide millions in underground vaults, offshore bank accounts, and secret properties. His influence reached so far that even governments unknowingly helped clean his dirty money, making it nearly impossible to trace back to him. The businesses that made him billions. Unlike ordinary criminals, this gangster didn't rely on just one illegal business. He had multiple streams of income, just like the world's wealthiest entrepreneurs. His empire included drug trafficking, arms smuggling, gambling, real estate, and even counterfeit goods. At his peak, he was making more than major corporations, with daily profits in the millions. Some of his most profitable businesses operated in broad daylight, masked as legitimate companies. Luxury hotels, exclusive resorts, and high-end fashion brands were all used to move money around. His ability to diversify his income sources made him nearly recession-proof. While other businesses suffered during economic downturns, his operations thrived, proving that crime truly does pay, at least for a while. Political influence. When you're rich, you don't just buy luxury cars and mansions. You buy influence. The richest gangster of all time wasn't just a criminal. He was a power player in politics. He had presidents, governors, and law enforcement officials on his payroll. He funded political campaigns, influenced laws, and even had world leaders secretly negotiating with him. Some government agencies turned a blind eye to his activities because his money was too valuable to refuse. Others actively protected him in exchange for financial backing. His power was so immense that some countries relied on his illegal businesses to keep their economies stable. At one point, he was more powerful than some elected officials, making decisions that shaped entire nations. The luxurious lifestyle of a criminal billionaire. What does a gangster do with billions of dollars? He lives like royalty. His wealth allowed him to own private islands, fleets of yachts, and some of the most extravagant mansions in the world. He threw million-dollar parties attended by celebrities, politicians, and even royalty. His collection of rare cars, priceless artwork, and custom-built palaces was unmatched. He traveled the world in private jets, stayed in the most exclusive resorts, and owned properties in nearly every major city. Despite his criminal reputation, he was seen in elite circles, mingling with Hollywood stars and Fortune 500 CEOs. His ability to blend into high society while running a massive criminal empire was part of what made him untouchable for so long. Feared and respected. Becoming the richest gangster in history wasn't just about making money, it was about keeping power. Anyone who crossed him quickly regretted it. He ruled with an iron fist, eliminating threats before they could take him down. Rivals disappeared without a trace, and even law enforcement officials feared him. His reputation for brutality made him nearly invincible. Even within his own organization, betrayal was met with extreme consequences. He controlled thousands of men who enforced his rule without question. Yet, despite his violent nature, he was also seen as a hero in some communities, providing jobs and protection where governments failed. His ability to balance fear and loyalty kept his empire running smoothly for decades. The downfall. No empire lasts forever. Despite his brilliance in business and politics, cracks eventually started to show. Investigative journalists, law enforcement agencies, and even former allies turned against him. Some of his most trusted associates were arrested, and in exchange for reduced sentences, they exposed his secrets. His once loyal government contacts distanced themselves, and international agencies joined forces to take him down. His assets were frozen, businesses shut down, and his underground operations were slowly dismantled. The man who once had untouchable power was now a fugitive, constantly on the run. He spent his final years in hiding, watching as his once massive empire crumbled. Net worth breakdown. At his peak, the richest gangster of all time amassed a staggering fortune of over $30 billion, surpassing the wealth of many corporate giants. His empire included cash reserves worth billions, an estimated $10 billion in real estate, luxury assets valued at $5 billion, and offshore bank accounts holding untold sums. His illicit businesses generated millions daily, fueling an international criminal network that extended across multiple continents. From drug trafficking to money laundering and arms smuggling, every operation added to his mind-blowing fortune. Despite his eventual downfall, vast portions of his wealth remain unaccounted for, sparking speculation that secret assets are still hidden worldwide. Authorities seized only a fraction of his riches, leaving many to wonder if his empire truly collapsed or if his legacy continues in the shadows. Even in death or exile, his name remains synonymous with power, wealth, and the terrifying reach of organized crime. The legacy. Despite his criminal past, the richest gangster of all time left behind a legacy that is still discussed today. His influence shaped how modern crime organizations operate, with many of his financial strategies studied by law enforcement to track modern money laundering schemes, while some of his businesses continued under new leadership, and his methods inspired new generations of criminal entrepreneurs to follow in his footsteps. His name became legendary, appearing in books, movies, and documentaries that attempted to uncover the full extent of his empire, a testament to the lasting impact of his actions. While he may have ultimately fallen, his story continues to captivate audiences, serving as a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked greed and ambition, and the enduring power of a single individual to reshape the criminal underworld. Even in the face of his eventual downfall, the richest gangster of all time left an indelible mark on the world, a legacy that will continue to be studied and discussed for generations to come. Lessons from a criminal billionaire. What can we learn from the richest gangster of all time? While his wealth and power were impressive, his downfall was inevitable. His story is a cautionary tale of how greed, ambition, and corruption can create unimaginable fortunes, but also lead to ultimate destruction. Despite his financial genius, strategic thinking, and ability to build an empire from nothing, even the most powerful criminals eventually face justice, as investigative journalists, law enforcement, and former allies turned against him, leading to the dismantling of his vast criminal empire. His legacy remains a mix of admiration and fear, proving that crime may pay, but only for a while, as the downfall of even the most successful criminal billionaires is unavoidable. The richest gangster of all time built a fortune that rivals the biggest names in business, but in the end, it all came crashing down. His story is one of power, wealth, and inevitable downfall. If you found this video helpful and informative, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.
Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks for watching.